what's going on, everybody? Dale Valor here with another MVD exclusive video. So here's the thing, man. You know, when we start dating, like seriously dating, not just trying to get out and get some friends with benefits or, just trying to get out there and pull some one-night stands or something like that, And hey, nothing wrong with that, all right? If that's what you want to do, cool, that's fine, no problem. But if you're dating with the intent of, trying to find a girlfriend, trying to get into a relationship, things like that, which, most people are trying to do that. I think most people look at the potential of what a relationship could look like instead of the reality of what it will be. You know what I mean? And that's cool. I mean, nobody knows the future, so that you're obviously looking at potential in a certain way and seeing what could be feasible and things like that. And that makes sense. But oftentimes what people do is they take that potential and they try to twist that and make that the reality and try to force the hand of whatever's going to happen to fit that mold when it's never going to. Like trying to get a square peg into a round hole. It's not going to work. You could try to jam it. You could try to do everything you got to do, but it's just never going to happen, okay? So that's the thing. That's what we're going to get into today. We're going to do it right now. Let's go. Number one, don't be blinded. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the thing. You get into a relationship and you have that honeymoon phase, right? This person can do no wrong. Everything's all lovey-dovey, roses and ice cream and puppies, And the thing is, obviously that's going to fade away at a certain point in time if you stick together long enough. Some harsher realities are probably going to present themselves at certain points of time, okay? But the thing is, what you can't do, and that's cool, you're into it, you're at an emotional high, all that kind of stuff, I get it, okay? But the thing is that you want to be as objective as you possibly can, because you may overlook things with the rose-colored glasses. You might overlook some things that are potentially red flags, and you might miss every yellow flag that's out there because you're not even looking for it, because you're so focused on the high of this new relationship and all that kind of thing. Be objective. Really take a good hard look at all the factors involved, what your life looks like, how she is with certain things that are important to you. Maybe she's kind of slobbish and that's not really your thing, but it's so cute right now. Well, is it going to be cute in 6 months when your house has all her stuff all over it and never picks anything up? Is that going to be cute 6 months from now? Probably not. It's probably going to be irritating, and if you nip that in the bud now, it won't be a problem later, except for that, oh, it's so adorable. Is it? Look at it objectively and then either nip things in the bud with those types of behaviors that you don't like, or cut it off if you need to cut it off. If it's just like, this is just insurmountable. Student loan debt that's $250,000 is so cute. Maybe you don't want to get involved with that, So that's the thing. Take those things into account, be objective as you can, and move forward accordingly. All right, we're going to get number two. Let's go. Number two, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. All right. It's an old saying, and I think it holds true, man. Sometimes we overlook things because of that new relationship high, or, we really like this person, but there's some glaring flaws. Well, we talked about in the first point in that you blinded yourself to them because you just don't even really want to see them. But if somebody treats you a certain way, and you don't like it, but you're willing to overlook it because you don't want to mess things up, that's the wrong approach. The right approach is check them. Let them know that you don't appreciate this type of behavior. You don't like the tone. You don't like how she's going about doing things. Correct it. And if it's not correctable, then you have to decide, is this the relationship for you? Is this what you want to be tethered to? Because the longer it goes on, the longer that it's just going to be persistent, and what you allow will persist, And so, try to correct that early on. Try to nip that in the bud, and hopefully it gets handled. And again, if it doesn't, then you got some decisions that you have to make. But if somebody is like, say for instance, a girl has anger issues, okay? And she just flies off the handle. I mean, just like crazy level, throwing dishes and things like that. She's gonna be on her best behavior early on, most likely. But if you see the seeds of that, if you say you say something to her and she just gets really salty and you didn't even really mean it that way and it wasn't even that big of a deal by anybody's measure, that might be something to consider, like, hey, this isn't something I want to deal with on a regular basis. So make sure that you try to check it, make sure you try to correct it if you can, and if you can't, then maybe it's just not a match, So listen, in the comments, what I'd like to know from you guys is, have you dealt with a relationship where you were blinded early on and that person was not the person that you thought they were because you were relying on the potential of what you thought could be, but turned out to not really go that way, So if you went through that, I'd love to hear about it. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments. And we're going to get number 3. Let's go. Number 3, don't try to change people, man. Now, usually this is what you see from a woman's perspective. It's a tale as old as time. She goes for the bad boy and hoping that she can change him somehow, and it's a project. And you see that kind of thing all the time. But guys do this too. Men do this as well. If you've ever heard the old adage, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Who do you think that comes from? Well, it doesn't come from women, it comes from men. So the thing is that, look, if a person is a certain way and you think that you can change them. Now, this sounds contrary to what I just said in the second point, but hear me out, okay? Something that bugs you is one thing, all right? How a person is another, okay? A perfect example of this is when a girl has low self-esteem, right? You know the type that I'm talking about, who's constantly attention thirsty because they constantly need affirmation. They constantly need reassurance that she's pretty or that she's accepted or whatever the case might be, but she has low self-esteem. All right. And so what the guy says is like, I'm just going to feed into this because the more that I tell her that she's pretty and that, that she's a perfect angel and so on and so forth, it's going to help her get over her self-esteem issues. Well, probably not. Probably all you're doing is, it's like leaving a saucer of milk out for the neighborhood stray cats. What's going to happen is they're going to start expecting that all the time. And what do those stray cats do? They sit outside your door and they meow and they meow and they meow and want you to give them more milk. And what do you think is going to happen when a day goes by and you didn't tell her how beautiful she was? Now she's all salty because you didn't tell her she's beautiful. Now you must think that she's ugly. And so now she's going to be resentful to you. And see, it's just a big ball of problems. So look, you're never going to change her. All right, it's not going to happen. Do not get into a relationship hoping to change somebody. If they're showing you who they are, take them at their word, and then you have to decide, is this something that you want to live with or not? If you do, that's on you. That's your call. If not, then you have to decide if, hey, maybe what is this relationship going to look like now? Is this just going to be a friends with benefits type of deal? Or am I just going to cut this off completely and keep it moving and try to find somebody else to date long term? So ultimately, your call. All right, we're going to get number 4. Let's go. Hey, listen, guys, wanted to take this quick time out just to remind you. Look, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. We don't want you to miss out on any of the great content, the information that we're putting out there that can be beneficial for you today. Also, share it with somebody that you know needs to see this information. And in addition, man, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. We always like you to comment, all that kind of thing. You know the deal. And in addition to all of that, make sure that you join us September 25th for our live Zoom event. We do one on the last Saturday of every month. It's always a great time. We always go super deep on a topic. And this month, what we're going to be talking about is sexual mastery. All right, how to really get down. You know what I'm saying? So here's the deal. Register for the event and just show up. It's 100% free. You got nothing to lose. It's a great time. Bring some questions with you. We always do a great Q&A session. So look, I'll see you there. Number 4, what does her life look like? Man, I talk on this channel all the time about what does your life look like, okay? And how is it things compatible with your life and what you're trying to do. And you should be on your purpose, and you should be trying to set goals and achieve them and do all these things to level up. We talk about that all the time. But what does her life look like, right? Is she the type of girl who flirts with every guy that she comes in contact with? Are you going to be okay with that? Because believe you me, if you start dating her, that's probably not going to stop, okay? It might slow down somewhat, especially when you're around, but when you're not, you know, she's off the leash, you know? When the cat's away, the mice will play, right? So the thing is that are you willing to put up with that? What else does her life look like? You know, how is she with money? Are you on the same page as far as, you know, future plans? You know, is she trying to advance in her career? Is she trying to level up things on her own? Does she work out? Does she, you know, all those things that you do, all the things that you work on about yourself are all the same things that she should be doing too. And if she's not, is that going to be a problem for you? Say you're an active guy. Say you like to go to the gym and you like to go mountain biking and you like to do outdoor activities and things like that, and she's a homebody. Are you going to be okay with that? Or are you looking at the potential, hey, I'll just get her into this. I'll just invite her to the gym. Maybe she'll go. You know? Maybe she will a few times, but in likelihood, if it's not her thing, it's never going to resonate with her, and she's probably never will. So understand that that's what her life looks like, and you need to figure out if it's compatible with yours, okay? Does she do self-improvement, man? Does she read self-help books? Does she have a passion and a zest for life with anything, you know? So these are all questions that you need to ask yourself. But listen, before any of this, okay, I think that it's good to get out and meet multiple people and, you know, have some dates and things like that, get-togethers and all that kind of thing. And listen, we did a whole video series on date ideas that you can do that are literally going to cost you very, very little money, okay? We're not talking about rolling out the red carpet here, but we're talking about having fun, doing new outside of the box types of ideas that girls have probably never done with a guy before. And it'll be fun and adventurous and spontaneous and all those things that everybody likes. All right, so what I want you to do is go check out the first video in that series. We're gonna link it up. All you gotta do is watch it and keep watching it, get those ideas going, get some girls to go out with you to some of these places, and then start deciding the potential versus the reality. All right, I'll see you there.